Hello, my name is Eve. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm dividing this video into two different formats, and the subject matter is the full moon in Virgo and Mercury stationing direct or moving forward. Both of these events are occurring on March 9th, 2020, and I'm dividing this into two formats. In the first section, I'm going to be specifically looking at some of the astrology that is happening here and giving you some guidance. In the second part of it, I will be bringing in two different oracle decks and one tarot deck to bring in extra energetic messages from creation and some clarifiers from the tarot deck. The timestamps will be listed below. Now, for the administrative part of this video, I just want to let all of you know that are following me that I have some new things I will be posting soon, changes I'm bringing in. I promise you I will let you know when those are ready. I haven't fully decided what I'm going to do. I can say that I am going to put all of my meditations that are geared towards the 12 different astrological signs. Those will be coming on sale shortly. So do stay tuned to that. When that's ready, I will be posting that in the description of this video in a link. My Instagram is below, my website information is below. Any lectures that I have up that you feel like purchasing, they're usually $15 unless they're on sale. Those will also be below. And yes, my upcoming lecture for the spring equinox on March 22nd, 2020, I'm going to be doing something different this time. I'm going to be doing a very large layout or spread for the spring equinox. And I was guided to use my tarot deck. I believe it's John Holland's. Is it John Holland? I think so. The Psychic Heart Tarot. I've been guided to do a spread with that and then bring in the animal medicine cards and the crystal, my crystal deck, as clarifiers. I'm going to make that into a very fun lecture. So do know all of that information will be below. If you feel like joining it in person, over Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, conference call, or purchasing it after the fact. So there's the administrative part. All the timestamps are below, so do jump ahead if you feel like doing so. Let's get into the astrology here. I will be visual for the entire astrological component, and then I will put my computer down when I'm doing the card reading. This is a full moon in Virgo on March 9th, 2020. And at the end of that day, Mercury will be coming out of retrograde and going forward. Rule of thumb, especially around Mercury and when we're looking at the planet Venus as well, look at 72 hours prior and 72 hours after as the time it takes that planet to completely station. Station means it comes to a stop, and then slowly begins inching its way forward. Therefore, we're looking at a 6 to 7 day window where the energy is very, very slow, if barely moving at all. And the time that Mercury fully begins its movement forward will be in the evening Pacific time on March 9th. I don't know why I keep wanting to say September. Something's going on with that. Oh, I know why. It's the number 9, and we're going to talk about that in a moment. So be aware then that 3 days prior to that, which is today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then we have Monday, and take 3 days after that, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, as that 6 to 7 day time frame where you want to really be cognizant of the areas of communication in your life, how you're thinking, how you're feeling, how you're verbalizing things with other people, the language that you're using. You also want to be cognizant of what's going on around you in terms of car traffic, pedestrian traffic, bikes, because Mercury rules the entire field of communication, telecommunications, IT, and transportation. So it's very much about what's going on when we're out there walking or driving or we're in transit from point A to point B. So just kind of maybe having that extra little radar in the back of your head, that awareness to maybe not be looking at your cell phone as you're crossing the street, please, okay? Not in this energy. Yes, I'm seeing that a lot lately, and I'm like, okay, well, thank goodness I'm seeing you. But if someone was not being present, you may not see them coming. So just that extra little bit of awareness. And in full moons as well, the full moon energy, again, like the Mercury, is building for the first 72 hours going into the full moon. And the full moon is occurring on the same day as Mercury is moving forward. We're already entering that orb of the full moon here on Friday. I believe this is Friday, March 6th. So we're already entering that orb of light or that orb of energy. This is a very powerful full moon. It is the first of 3 supermoons that are full moons this year. We have 6 supermoons this year, 3 in full moons and 3 in the fall in new moons. A supermoon is simply a word that has been given to the cycle of the moon when it goes into a full moon or a new moon, when it is in its closest proximity to the earth. Therefore, in a full moon energy, the effects of the lunar energy is going to be stronger because it's reached one of the closest proximities that it reaches in its orbit around the earth. The tides are going to be up. There could be a lot of wave energy going on. People love to go out and surf under super full moons, but be aware that emotions are going to be running high as well because the moon is closer to us and it very strongly rules our emotional well-being and our comfort zone here. Now, the full moon in Virgo is an earth moon, and she is doing her thing in an earth energy. The sign of Virgo is very much about discernment, discrimination, perfectionism. Virgo loves to complete things. And so in this full moon, you are being invited to spend some time looking at where in your life you want to apply perhaps stronger boundaries. Because remember, Virgo is about discernment. And that means you have to have an awareness of where you want more clarity, where you want to know what is really going on. And in order to have more clarity, we have to have discrimination. In other words, we decide which energies we bring into our life and which energies we don't. The opposite of discrimination is a lack of boundaries. Where you have so much going on, your mind is going in so many different directions that you're not going to achieve clarity. So the discernment or the discrimination I'm asking you to work on is going into your mental body and bringing in focus. Focused intent, where you are simply aligning your mental energy, which then aligns your action energy to perhaps certain things throughout that day. So when you get up in the morning, you have your day planned. Virgo is one of the big planner signs, as well as Capricorn. Taurus likes to plan its day as well. All of the earth signs like to have a plan. And then in the water sign energy, so does Cancer and so does Scorpio. Pisces, not so much. Pisces likes to be a little bit more fluid, open-minded, and limitless. But if you happen to be any one of those 6 signs, understand this full moon in Virgo is you are going to feel the energy, because the full moon is in Virgo opposite the Sun and Neptune in Pisces. We're having 2 very, very powerful alignments of energy that are occurring as we go into this full moon. We have the Sun coming into alignment with Neptune. Yes, and I believe that's happening on Sunday. Yes, it is. Sunday, March 8th. The sun does this once a year with Neptune in the sign of Pisces. So here we have that balancing energy between the sign of Virgo, where the full moon is, and the Sun-Neptune conjunction or alignment in Pisces. What does that mean? That's about a balancing energy between two forces that appear to be opposing each other, but are ultimately complementing one another. Virgo is about the idea of being the planner, the organizer. You want to complete whatever you put on your agenda for that day. You have a plan for that week. You're mentally focusing your energy on the things that you really want to accomplish and get done. But Virgo can hold on too tightly to the schedule and to the need to complete. And it can sometimes then lose itself in the process because there's a goal and it wants to reach the goal. And then, so bringing in its complement of Pisces is allowing the Virgo energy to be a bit more free-spirited or limitless. And speaking about limitlessness, Pisces rules the world of the unknown and the limitless potentialities or possibilities, where Virgo rules the known. So Pisces is the unknown, Virgo is the known. Pisces is the invisible world, and Virgo is the world of matter and substance. Virgo is what we can see, and Pisces is what we cannot see, but what we intuitively feel. So Pisces rules our intuitive body, and then Virgo is our ability to say, okay, so this is what my intuition is telling me or showing me or wanting me to look at. I need to now gather the information so that I can make sense of it. It's a beautiful way of blending the energies of all of the full moons. I think my favorite is honestly the Virgo Pisces. It occurs twice a year. In the fall, we will get the sun in Virgo and the moon in Pisces. I really like that energy because the blending of the known and the unknown, the matter and the antimatter, for example, I like living in that realm. But right now we're looking at how to access our spiritual body, which would be ruled by Pisces, while we're working through our physical body, which is Virgo. And we're blending the two or finding new ways and new pathways to bring them into a very lovely balance, especially if we have been feeling a little bit out of balance lately. And I'm going to give you myself as an example here. I work all week long with channeling, with counseling, with being in sessions with people. And that means that almost every day, except 1 or 2 days a week, I go out and I go to the gym or I take a walk. I have to go in, I have to use exercise as a way to ground and to feel my body, to feel back in my body and to see how my body's doing. And I also use it to strengthen my physical well-being. And there's a very good use of that Virgo and that Pisces dynamic. Any other messages for the Virgo theme? Yes. Okay. So because the sun is conjuncting with Neptune, it's telling us that it's really time to set the intentions for our dreams. Because Pisces and Neptune is about our dream world. It's what our heart really wants. If we could be given anything, if everything was unlimited, what would you want to create? That's the Pisces and the sun conjunct Neptune and Pisces energy. If you could have all of the means to bring your dreams into creation, what would you want? What would you create? And then Virgo is how you're going to do it. So Virgo is the tools you're going to want to develop or access or use to then create those dreams. And what I love about Virgo is it says, okay, you have a dream. Well, that means we have to create a step-by-step plan to achieve it. And Virgo then asks you to be in the process, and the blending of the Virgo and the Pisces energy is enjoying the journey. It's no longer really about the destination. It's about the journey. Okay? I love it, love it, love it. And then the other energy that's occurring here, before I forget, yes, on Sunday, March 8th, we also have the Venus-Uranus conjunction in Taurus. Now that's going to occur once a year as well. That is extremely powerful. What I like here is we're having both of these planets conjunct in signs that like each other. So these signs of Taurus and Pisces kind of like wave at each other. You know, one's earth and one's water. They understand each other. They can work very well together. And one is the sun energy and the other is Venus. And Venus is about love, abundance, prosperity, creativity, and beauty. It's about the sacred divine feminine and honoring that divine feminine within you, because the divine feminine is an energy regardless of gender. We all have that creative energy, that emotional body, that intuitive body, which is our feminine component or piece. And the conjunction to Uranus is about a very big awakening, awakening your creative, intuitive center more, awakening your heart, awakening the romantic part of you, awakening the love part of you. And lastly, bringing in new, bringing in new pathways of creativity and abundance. I'm getting a lot of message of abundance here. And with Venus conjunct Uranus in Taurus, Taurus is the biggest sign of building foundations. And think about this. Taurus first starts its journey under the month of April, which is the number 4 month, and 4 is the number of building strong foundations. When we go into April, we have 2 signs, Aries and Taurus, and both of those signs are focused on building very solid foundations. But specifically with Taurus, it wants to build foundations that are secure, stable, and that are building our abundance or a prosperity quotient. And therefore, I'm seeing as we're going into this full moon energy, as it's building and Mercury's stopping and getting ready to move forward, all of these energies are working together as one. And what I like about this full moon is they're actually helping each other. And then the last thing I wanted to say about the astrology is we have Mars in Capricorn that is building towards the alignment with Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. And it is doing that, let's see, I know I have the dates written down here. It's doing that throughout the next 2 weeks. I believe the last conjunction here will be on March 22nd, so right after the spring equinox. And that's a beautiful energy because Mars in Capricorn is where Mars feels in its most significant, most powerful form. Mars is the divine masculine energy as an energy, not a gender again. The Mars energy is about our vitality, our passion, and our drive. And because the sign of Capricorn is so focused on achieving a goal and setting precedents for the future, Capricorn is very driven and goal-oriented and very organized and loves managing things and setting out plans that are 5, 10, 20 years out. And so Mars loves that focused energy and does very well in the sign of Capricorn. And it's moving right now with the guidance and the aid of the full moon in Virgo, because that's another earth sign. The full moon is helping this Capricorn energy build towards whatever mission it is wanting to be on. It's a very This full moon, I'm going to give it the name of the achievement moon, or the achiever. You want to achieve something very big for yourself now. But you've got to have very strong, steady intentions, and you've got to build upon it. When we're looking at earth energies, and there's so many of them going on this month, earth of all the elements is the slowest. So just know that March is a month where you are setting the intentions, you are planting the seeds, especially with the spring equinox, which is the beginning of the astrological calendar. So much of March is about planting the seeds and knowing what intentions you want to build upon moving forward. And then the earth energy is allowing you to know that you have all of 2020 to make steady progress in that direction. You don't have to arrive there at the end of this month. In fact, I'm going to tell you that you're not going to, because when we're working with earth energy, it's steady as she goes. It's slow yet progressive movement forward with a goal or set of goals to look forward to. And then with the Pisces influence, which is going to be with us through the rest of this year as well, what Pisces is giving us as a tool is fluidity. Don't be so attached to the way this is being created. Allow there to be flexibility and fluidity. A good example would be if you have certain things that you're wanting to build or create in your world at this time, set for yourself a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C. Don't just have a plan A. Having only one plan or one way to get there means you're going to choose to live in a limited reality. Yet the universe is unlimited by its very nature. So go into it with an intention or focused drive, knowing that you have many tools available to you to move in that direction, yet there's certain things that are going to come in that you cannot see yet. So I want you to be flexible, working with your intuitive body, which is that Pisces energy, listening to your gut feeling and listening to your higher guidance here. Because the Pisces energy is also your soul, your intuition, your higher guidance. It's your guides wanting to bring messages to you, but you have to be open for those messages. Okay, so that's the astrology, and the numerology here is a number 7, which is lovely because for the month of March, with the universal year of 4, we have 7. And when we add 3 with 9 and 2020, the last number we get is a 7. So we have a little bit of the 7-7 energy happening here on this super full moon, and that's the Chariot in the Tarot. Absolutely, the green light is on. The Chariot is about movement forward, but it's movement forward knowing where you're going and knowing what tools you have already developed to get you there. Now I'd like to move into, nope, I don't. One more thing I want to say about the astrology. It's about Mercury. Mercury is moving forward, as I said, in the evening of March 9th. It's going to be fully moving forward by the 10th, 11th, 12th. So just give it those 3 days to get going here. It's moving forward at the very end of the sign of Aquarius, around 28 degrees of Aquarius. Mercury is going to be beyond aspect here. That means there's no other planets that are highlighting Mercury when it's in Aquarius. And what that does give you, though, is it gives you a time to go inward, because when Mercury's not being aspected by another planet, it gives you time to sit with things and to go into your intuitive body, to gather information in the outer world, if that's how you need to do it as well. So it's gathering inner information and it's gathering outer information. Mercury does not re-enter Pisces until I believe March 15th or 16th, at which point it will then begin fully aspecting other planets, and it will complete its cycle on April 9th and 10th. And it will be very strong in the sign of Pisces. Right now, though, as it's completing Aquarius, I want you to think about what knowledge or wisdom or clarity or experiences you have learned in this cycle, which began at the beginning of February. What have you learned so far? What experiences are you bringing forward as Mercury goes direct? And especially by the time Mercury goes into Pisces. So we have about another week and a couple days that Mercury's going to be in Aquarius. So there's still another 8-9 days of experiences or clarity that could be coming in for you around this. Okay, awesome. Let's go ahead and look at the cards here. I'm going to put this down, and I may need to get my glasses out for this. Here we go. Let's see, I want to make sure you can see everything. So I wanted to pull from the first deck. These are the cards from the Secret Language of Light that are our guiding energies for this full moon, which lasts for a couple of weeks, and also for Mercury going direct, which is going to last for the entire cycle that Mercury completes Aquarius and goes through Pisces. So it's absolutely taking us through April 9th. The first message I have here is light beings. Let's see if I can pull this up just a little bit there so you can see that beautiful card. I was getting so much energy last night around this. In this deck, the light beings is letting us know that we have so much guidance from our higher selves, our soul tribe, all of our angels, our guides, the ascended masters, source creator, that there's so much help coming from the spiritual realm. The other message with this, though, is the recognition that we are beings that really come from an unlimited reality. We come from the cosmos. We are here on Earth, but we are ultimately cosmic or galactic beings. And during this energetic cycle that we're in right now, we're moving more towards accessing what it means to be a superhuman or a cosmic divine being on planet Earth, and what skills we're developing to further that part of us that is unlimited. What gifts are we bringing through that we did not know about, that were perhaps lying dormant within our unconscious, superconscious, and subconscious minds that are coming through. And lastly, I wanted to say is remember that because you are a light being, you can always change your story in any given moment. You are, to a very large degree, not fully though, because you have a soul group and a tribe, and you have guides that are really truly here guiding you, helping you through this. You are working with them in partnership with the script of your life, but you do have free will on making certain editings to that script. So feel free to bring in that unlimited potentiality. And the clarifier that I got for this from my universal prophecy cards is the message of color. And let me read that to you. Visualize rainbow colors surrounding you as you breathe in their healing energy. From a calm mind and a peaceful heart, the truth you seek will emerge. So the clarifier here is that if you want greater truth in your life, greater meaning and enlightenment, you need to access the higher form of who you are. You need to reach beyond your limited physical reality to your unlimited spiritual, intuitive, higher self reality. And to also get that clarity, to ask for that guidance from your divine beings. I'm getting another message with this as well, that many of us, and I'm including myself in that journey, because for a while now, I've been going through a lot of healing on a physical and emotional and a psychic level. And this is letting us know that there is perhaps a completion coming to this healing, that we're reaching a place now where we really truly are feeling more whole and healed and at one with ourselves and at peace with ourselves than we have felt in a very long time, if ever. Okay, so that's a beautiful message right there. I think I'll put this here. So let's go to the next set of cards. Expansion. Beautiful, beautiful card, and that's number 44. Look at this. Even the numerology here, we're getting a message. 35, 3 and 5 is an 8, and 4 and 4 is an 8. There's a number of completion here. 8 is the infinity symbol. It's the number of ambition, success, movement forward, but it's also the balancing between our spiritual and our physical realities. Okay? So we're getting a very, very strong message about that through the numerology, the astrology, and now through the oracle card messages. And expansion means that during this cycle, what Mercury's bringing to us, the greatest gift of all, for the full moon and all the planetary conjunctions that are occurring right now and throughout the month of March, is we are expanding upon our visual of reality. We're expanding upon our physical well-being, perhaps our financial well-being, mostly though our spiritual and our emotional well-being. And in this card, we're seeing the Merkaba, which is our spiritual vehicle. It is a 6-pointed star with 2 triangles, one pointing upward towards the divine masculine energy of action, and one pointing downwards towards the divine feminine energy of receptivity and intuition. And the Merkaba is the 6-pointed energy. It is the energy vehicle of our higher self, and it's how we connect and we allow our physical body to have more energy and to come into the what I like to call the superhuman, because our physical body's only going to become more vital and strong and superhuman when we have a complete merge with our Merkaba and our higher self, which is part of our light body. And it's showing us that this is moving into another level of achievement, or of a higher level of merging or unification occurring here. Now, how is that coming into being? These are the messages of clarification. Loss. Now, disregard that word. I don't feel that word's necessarily appropriate to this card. I love this card, though, because it has so many significant meanings. Feelings of disappointment and loss will soon fade as you find strength in love. Love is patient and kind, so persist, learn, and emerge stronger. The message could be that some of you are going through a dark night of the soul right now. There's something that you are presently leaving behind, or knowing that it's time to leave it behind because you want to fly. This card is ultimately a card of emergence. And what I love about it is it's the butterflies. They're not in the cocoon phase anymore. They're flying. So this is a card of action. The time is now. And look at that jar. There's no top on that jar. There's 3 butterflies in the jar, and there's 4 outside of them. So that might be a message for some of you that you're 60% through this process, but you know you're not fully through it. There's still parts of you that feel limited or constrained in some situation in your life, and you're working through it at this time. But you're able to feel like the rest of you is flying now. You have a sense of freedom that you're wanting to embody more and more and more. And lastly, it's the recognition that, remember, there's no top on this jar. So the true limitations in our life, so many of them are actually self-created. But they are self-created because there's something we want to learn. And what I'm getting with this card is absolute infinite gratitude. Be in that place of pure love, gratitude, and patience for the journey that you're on, and just immense love and patience for yourself, because you are a beautiful divine being. And it doesn't matter which butterfly you are here, or how many butterflies you think are still in that jar, because you are growing and you are learning and you are spreading your wings. I really do. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. Ah, beautiful. You are spreading your wings. You are getting to the bridge of light. This is the bridge between the mundane and the surreal, between heaven and earth. The golden prophecy. Yes, everything you touch is turning to gold. Believe, achieve, and you will succeed. That is the most significant message here. Okay, so you have a choice. Ah, that's the other message they're giving to me. You have a choice here. You will succeed when you see your life from the glass half full, not the glass half empty. Okay, that was the other message I'm getting. And the final card is you are finding your purpose here. Bring fulfillment and happiness into your life to inspire and empower others. Ask yourself, what is my life? What is my purpose in life? What can I do to make the world a better place? Well, when we're achieving a greater fullness within our being, it's always about recognizing that we are part of this planet. We are part of the human collective. There is no separation here. So the next question that we are inviting ourselves to ask is, how far are we on the pathway of our own life's purpose? And where are we needing to go next on that journey? Where is the next fork in the road? Or perhaps we're going to get off the road completely and start a new one, because that's what I'm getting for some of you here. Let's get the last little clarifiers from the tarot here. Let's see if I can put this right there, get it out of the way. Beautiful. The Master of Chalices, which he's the King of Cups. So we are achieving this purpose, this success, this expansion when we become the master of our emotional body. The King of Cups is someone who has achieved self-mastery in the emotional realm. And the King of Cups, whether again male or female, it does not matter. It's where you feel like you know where your what your emotions are. You know that your emotions are here to help you. They are directing you through life, and they are directing you through life from a place of inner balance. You have emotional balance. It's not where your emotions are running your life in terms of negative emotions. So the King of Cups has a sense of peace and reflection within it, where he or she is allowing the emotional, intuitive body to give guidance without allowing itself to be pulled into any situations that are overly dramatic or where emotions are going downward in vibration. Okay, so the King of Cups or chalices is about keeping the emotional part of us in a high vibrational place. And then we have the Seeker of Crystals, which is the Queen of Pentacles. I love it. So there's a mastery of our emotional body occurring here, and there's also a mastery of our financial and our physical world, which is in complete total alignment with the astrological portion of this video, where I was talking about the energy of Pisces and the energy of Virgo, and how they're both actually helping one another. But with the Queen of the Seeker of Crystals, which is the Queen of Pentacles, look at that. She is holding the world, or the orb, in her hands. There is a deep sense of understanding how she's in realization of what she has created. She's in a place of abundance, inner and outer abundance, of gratitude, of recognition of what she has created. And she's also wanting to enjoy her life. That's the other message I'm getting here. Taking time to really be and enjoy your life. And let's look at the last two cards here. Well, of course we had to get the Chariot, didn't we? Since the number for the full moon day is a 7. The Chariot, we are indeed taking action. We are moving forward with our life. In this card, I believe that is Krishna, and he's on the Chariot, and the 5 horses are representations of our 5 senses in this deck. Again, we're going back to the idea of the water energy, water fire, because Krishna would be a representation of the spiritual emotional body, which is fire and water energy. And then the horses, or the senses, would be the representation of the earthly energies, and how it's all working in tandem. And when we have these parts of our self, our emotional, our spiritual, our intuitive, and our physical working together, also with our mental intelligence. Was I getting a message here on the mental intelligence? Yes, I was, from this card. The cosmic being, the light being, that's our mental intelligence. So we have all of our different bodies here operating in unison. And when they're operating this way in harmony, we're able to really drive that Chariot forward in the direction that we want it to go. And we have full understanding of where we're going, or at least enough full understanding at this time. And then the last card I pulled, oh my God, wait for it, abundance. This is the Empress. And in this deck, she is just magnificent. She has everything she could possibly want. So in this deck, really, the Empress is very much in alignment with the Master or the King of Cups. She is in flow. She's creating what she wants to create. You know, she's holding that triangle of light above her head. You know, I don't know what more I could say about the Empress, because she has everything she needs. The best way to use the energy of abundance is to always have gratitude, serenity, be in a place of peace, and more than anything else, really enjoy what you are doing. Because someone who lives their life from the place of being a workaholic, they're always thinking about the next thing to do, and they get lost in creating that new thing, and they're not in the energy of abundance. Because to be in the energy of abundance means to be able to sit in a place of loving what you've created, enjoying what you've created. And notice how peaceful this card is, and how full of life. What she's bringing to us this month of March is an abundance of anything that you want to create, whether it's love, whether it's money, whether it's creativity, health. It does not matter. And for some, I'm getting there's fertility here. Some of you are birthing children. There's new babies coming in, and or you're getting pregnant. So right now, these are all the messages I have for you. I think they are beautiful, beautiful messages. And I just wish you all the most fabulous month of March. Until next time.